Can you imagine a situation or a time where you have a question and you can reach out to somebody in your network and you can say, hey, I have this question or problem or need. Who do you know? Who can I talk to? Who can help me with this? How much would your business life, your personal life, your professional life, how much would that improve if you had access at the tip of your fingers to people who could solve problems? What if I gave you that opportunity? My name is Amber Fuhriman, and this is the More Than Corporate podcast. Welcome to the More Than Corporate podcast. I'm Amber Fuhriman, recovering perfectionist and serial accomplisher. If you're anything like I used to be, you've been living your life thinking that if you accomplish enough stuff, you'll finally find the success you've always wanted. But what if it's not about accomplishing more stuff? What if it's about accomplishing the right stuff? I believe you don't find success. You create it by intentionally designing the life you want and having the courage to get out of your comfort zone to live your design. I went from doing what I was supposed to do to doing what I love to do, and now I get to help others do the same. Keep listening as I chat with inspiring people who make it their mission to live their best life every day and learn how you too can live the life you've always wanted. Before we jump into this episode, I want to take just a minute to tell you that this episode is brought to you by Success Development Solutions. If you are looking for that next level up in your business and you're just not ready or you're not sure where to start, click on the Calendly link in the show notes of this episode. Let's jump on a call and see how we can work together in order to get you living the life you've always wanted. Let's talk about your circle. I've heard so many times, your network is your net worth, right? How many times have we heard that? I've also heard so many times, if your circle doesn't support you, you don't have a circle, you have a cage. Those are both amazing analogies for how important the people around you are. Today, though, I heard one that was a complete game changer. And it said, if the people around you are not going where you want to go, then neither are you. And the reality is we adjust our behaviors. We adjust how we act and perform every single day based upon our surroundings. So science has shown that if you want to be more fit, if you want to be better at working out, that you hang out with people who work out on a regular basis. If you want to be better at, hiking or camping, then you hang out with people who hike or camp on a regular basis. If you want to be better at business, you hang out with people that excel at business on a regular basis. What does that look like? What does it look like to hang out with people who excel at business? If you're anything like me, what you think of is what I used to think of, which is that you go somewhere to this stuffy hotel conference room and you listen to really dry speakers and they talk and they bore you, and then they try to sell you on some $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 program at the end, and you sit there and think, man, like I just wasted 3 days of my life. That's what I used to think of when I thought business conferences. This started to change for me when I went to Thrive here in Las Vegas in 2019. A friend suggested I needed to be there, so I went. At that conference, I saw for the first time what really connecting with people who do business right looked like, what it looks like to connect with people on a bigger scale, who are accomplishing things that I didn't even think was possible at the time. And it's crazy to think, I did an episode a couple of weeks ago about how every single moment brought you to this moment, and this moment brings you to the next, which will bring you to the next. So when I look at what I have now in my personal, professional success, I think of Thrive as a really big turning point for me in my podcast, in my career, and I can point to so many people now who are instrumental in my growth, who allow me to bounce ideas off of them on a regular basis, who support me, and I do the same to them. And I met them within this time frame because I went to this event, because I trusted a friend. So let me answer the question that I asked you in the beginning. What does it look like to go to an event and level up in business? It looks like coming to Vegas, hanging out with people for 3 days. It looks like going to a destination that you want to go to, or hanging out with people that you want to hang out with in a conference setting. It looks like speakers who are adding value to your day, talking about all types of different business topics. It looks like connecting. It looks like sitting down at a table with a small group of people, talking about the struggles that you're having in your business right now, and being able to get feedback on what works and what doesn't. It's not about what you learn when you go to a conference. It's about who you connect with, what actionable steps you leave with, and how you can continue to grow and deepen the relationships that you meet from both the speakers and the attendees, so that you can have that situation that I talked about in the very, very beginning of this episode, where you have a need or a problem, or you need help with something, and you can call one of any number of people and say, hey, this is what's going on. Do you know anybody who can help me? I have a list of probably 5 to 8 people that are go-tos for me when I need something, that pick up the phone when I call them, that have huge networks of their own. And I'm able to connect with amazing individuals who are impacting the world and making progress and showing me that this is like the way that business should be done. It's not transactional, it's relational. So the point of this episode is to talk to you about your circle, right? If your circle doesn't support you, if the people that you're hanging around with don't support you, if there's really good things going on in your life and the people who are around you, the first thing they think is, ooh, got to be careful because Amber's close to competing with me and we can't have that, so I need to step back a little bit, then those aren't your people. When you have a success, the people in your life should celebrate that with you. They should want to see you grow. They should call you on your bullshit. When you're saying, hey, I've done everything that I possibly can to make this work, they should look at you and say, really? What did you do? Because we're the easiest person to lie to. So we need people in our life that don't allow us to buy into our own bullshit, that celebrate our wins with us, that also value connection and growth, and they expand their networks just as much as you expand yours. Because when I call somebody and say, this is what I need, who do you know? And they make a personal introduction to somebody else that I don't know, then I immediately cut through that know, like, and trust factor to be able to have a conversation with that connection that I wouldn't have been able to have right off the bat. Case in point, guys, this was crazy. So a couple of weeks ago, I posted on my Facebook page that I was looking for chefs to cater the first night of my event here in Vegas. And I posted, who do you know that's a local chef? I want to support a local small business here in the Las Vegas area. Now, you guys might know that I train every single Monday at the UFC Fit here with my trainer, whose name is Ed. We do pad and strike training every single Monday. It's a great way for me to get my frustration out and be able to get all set up for my week. And he always posts about meals from this guy named Hugo. And I've been wanting to reach out and find out what this is all about, because they do meal prep, and it's an easy way for me when I'm busy and on the go to be able to have healthy prepared meals. So I wanted to look into it, and it just kept slipping my mind. So I post this Facebook post and I'm asking for local chefs. And this guy comments and says, hey, I know this amazing chef. I would love to connect you and your event sounds amazing. I'd love to talk about it. So I connect with Brian yesterday and he says, yeah, I'm actually not the chef, but I would love to get him on the phone. We do a Zoom call yesterday, and it is the same Hugo that I've been meaning to reach out to for the last couple of months, that it just kept slipping my mind. How small of a world is that? You never know how connected you actually are to the people who can solve your problems and provide you with the services that you need to excel at what you're doing until you really start to build and deepen relationships. It's not about sales. It's not about transactional. It's about deepening relationships to figure out who you can help and how, who can help you and how, and what people you want to surround yourself with in order to be able to reach all of your goals. So here's my challenge to you. My challenge to you is to take a look at the 5 people that you hang around with the most. There's a quote that you are the product of the 5 people that you spend the most amount of time with. And while I absolutely agree with that, there's a part of me that disagrees with it as well. And I don't believe that you are a product of the 5 most people that you hang around with. I believe that you are a product of everybody that you hang around with. Everyone, anybody that you give time, energy, or attention to impacts what you do and how you do it, whether you intend for it to happen or not. So take a look at the people that you spend the most time with and ask yourself, are they going in the direction that I want to go? If I'm surrounding myself with people and with these individuals, are they going to help me level up my business? Am I going to be able to have the impact that I want to make on the world? I'm not saying cut those people out of your life. What I am saying is take real stock in who that closest circle is for you. Take a minute and think about the 5 people you spend the most amount of time with and take a look at what that life looks like. Now I want you to step back from that for just a minute and I want you to think, would it improve your business to be able to sit in a room with 6- and 7-figure business owners and ask them questions about sales, about prospecting, about community creation, about health, about productivity, about how to create financial freedom for your business? To be able to sit in a room with those people and have a conversation with them. How much, looking at the 5 people that you're currently spending the most amount of time with, how much would it help increase your business success if you could start to insert other connections into that as well? I have this amazing event coming up at the end of the month. I know that you guys have heard me talk about it. There are still spots available if you want them. If you are not able to make it here though, whatever conference you decide to go to, just get out there and start going. Start inserting yourself into the rooms that you want to be in. We talk about all the time, if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to find a new room. And it can be incredibly vulnerable and scary and intimidating to walk into a room knowing that the majority of people in that room know more than you do about a particular topic. But how amazing is it that you get the opportunity to learn from them? And that eventually you learn more and you learn more and you learn more, and then you find another room. If those people that are your top 5 that you spend the most amount of time with, if they are as dedicated to growth as you are, then you are all going to rise up together. If they are stuck and they're not living the life that they want to live, and they're negative and they complain, and we all have these traits in us, but if that's the majority of the energy that you're consuming, how can you possibly expect to have the life and business that you want to have? Guys, I would love to see you at my event in September, and you can find information for that at dyl.successdevelopmentsolutions.net. We still have tickets available, and if you want to be there, I would absolutely love to have that conversation. But whether it's my event or someone else's, get out there, meet people, expand your network, deepen relationships, and together, the people that you meet and their network and their network and their network will allow you to make an enormous impact on not only your life, but the lives of your clients and your customers. This ties directly into my topic from a couple of weeks ago. I did the episode on who are you learning for? When you go to a conference, who are you learning for? Who are you connecting for? What clients do you have in mind that the person that you're talking to might be able to provide a service for? And how amazing is it that you get the opportunity to connect with new people all the time, whether it's virtually or in person? Guys, you have the ability to design the life that you've always wanted, and you owe it to yourself to get out of your comfort zone and live it. And such a huge part of that is surrounding yourself with people who allow you to continue to grow because they support you instead of holding you back. They call you on your bullshit instead of allowing you to believe that you've done everything that you can to be successful. And they are just as dedicated to their own personal growth as you are. I look forward to hearing what your thoughts were on this episode. Feel free to comment on this video, or if you are listening to the audio version of this podcast, shoot me an email, amber@amberfuhriman.com. I can't wait to hear from you. Have a fantastic day, guys.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the More Than Corporate podcast. If anything that was said during this episode resonated with you or provided value in any way, it would mean the world to me if you would head over to iTunes and leave a rating and review for the More Than Corporate podcast. Thank you so much for taking the time to do that. I'm really looking forward to connecting with you. If you'd also like to connect, I've created a Facebook group that is full of amazing people who also make it their mission to live their best life every single day. If that sounds like something that you're interested in, the name of that Facebook group is Success Center. Head over there, request to join, and I look forward to connecting with you soon.